Hi guys, welcome to a fresh new episode of TechCube, and in this video we'll be discussing about few challenges that our country has to face before 5G comes to India. So without any further ado, let's get started. Now I've enlisted 5 different factors that we need to understand before we opt for this technology. These are the most crucial factors that we need to consider. There are plenty of other factors also, but these are the 5 most important factors that we all need to understand. So the first factor that comes over here is 5G devices. As we all know, a few years earlier when Jio had come, at that point of time we all had to upgrade our devices, because upgrading from 3G to 4G requires a specific hardware and it is not at all based on software. And that was the reason why we had to upgrade our devices, and it also caused a type of burden over our pockets. Similarly, when we'll upgrade from 4G to 5G, in the same fashion we will again have to upgrade our devices, because it is also something which is related to hardware. So definitely it's going to put a burden on the consumer's pocket. The second factor that comes over here is the allocation of spectrum. Now I'll give you an example. For example, if you tune to 93.5, then you will definitely hear music at that point of time, because 93.5 is allocated to music. We all know it by the name of Red FM, and government has allocated this spectrum to for the purpose of radio. Similarly, if we'll tune to some other frequency, then that particular frequency may be related to either sports or either news, but in that frequency we'll hear only that specific purpose for which it is allocated. In the same fashion, spectrum is being allocated to companies by the government, and that spectrum will contain 5G. Now the present status is like the economy is really debt ridden. The companies are in huge losses and they have to pay a very huge amount to the government. At this point of time, they really can't purchase new spectrums for 5G, because they already have to pay a very high amount of debt to the government. Now the third factor that comes over here is the type of connectivity. 5G is an optical fiber based connectivity, and in comparison to it, 4G is an IP based connectivity. When our country opted for 4G, at that point of time we did very minor changes in our infrastructure, because the earlier infrastructure which was used in 3G was approximately adequate as compared to what we needed in 4G. But in 5G definitely we'll have to lay optical fiber lines, because 5G is based on it, and it will definitely require a huge amount of expenditure for the government, we can say. And at present the economy is not very good, so as such we cannot expect very high amount of success in 5G. The fourth factor that comes over here are some of the characteristics of 5G. Now the first characteristic is that it provides 10 Gbps peak speed. Just consider, even if we get 1/10 of this speed, that is 1 Gbps, then it will be a very major achievement for us, because in today's date the highest amount of internet traffic in the whole world is in India. Even the cheapest internet also is in India only, and that's the reason why we don't get very good speed in 4G networks also. The second factor that comes over here is that 5G provides 100 times more connectivity as compared to 4G. Even if we get 50 times more connectivity, just for the sake of considering, even if we get 50 times more connectivity, then also it would be a very major achievement for us as such. The fifth factor that comes over here are the unstable networks. As we all know, whenever we travel in trains and from one place to another, definitely, then at that point of time what happens is that we don't get good networks. Networks are adequate, call quality might be adequate, but the internet signals are not at all good. At some point of time they are very good, and at some point of time we don't even get slight amount of connectivity. And this is one of the major factors of unstable networks. If we compare it to other countries which have been developed, for example Japan, bullet trains are being used there, and in those trains also people get stable networks, and that's the amount of advancement that they have done in their technology. In the similar way, even we have to improve our networks, because once we'll improve our networks, then we can work upon the other shortcomings. If I give you some of the examples of 5G devices that have been launched in India, then some of the examples are Redmi Note 9 Pro, Realme 6 Pro, and iQOO3 5G, and such other devices. And in the near future we'll see plenty of devices. But the main factor that lies over here is that if we are not having capable 5G networks in our country, then there is no use of such high performance flagship devices. So this is the main concern, that we need to improve upon the present networks, that is 4G networks, and the upcoming 5G networks. So this was something related to this topic. I hope that you all like this video. In case you have any additional information regarding this topic, or if you want to add on something, then you can definitely drop it in the comment section down below. Also, if you have any queries, then also you can drop it in the comment section down below. I really like to read all your comments and all your queries, and I'll reply all of them. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then do make sure that you subscribe to this channel and also press the bell icon so that you never miss any latest and greatest in tech. Also, don't forget to like this video. So yeah, this is Indrajit Singh signing off, and I'll see you all guys in the next one.